Hi everyone, I'm Jolene Kent. Welcome to Tech Take. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're talking about the battle between Periscope and Meerkat. Live streaming, can it actually stick? Will it actually work? I'm joined now by Jeffrey Van Camp. You are the Deputy Editor of Digital Trends. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with the palace intrigue of this entire situation. Periscope came out last week. It's built by Twitter, but Meerkat really came first. What's the backstory?
The backstory is Meerkat made a lot of headwaves earlier in March. It's basically got a lot of tech press, got a lot of elite, a lot of people in Silicon Valley interested.
It took off at South by Southwest, right?
Took off at South by Southwest, very big there, and it's unknown how popular it actually is, but there's a lot of celebrities, a lot of people using it. Yeah.
And so fast forward a couple of weeks, basically,
yeah.
and then Twitter announces Periscope, which is essentially the same type of live streaming, live casting app. It's a standalone from Twitter, but it was
actually basically this weekend.
Exactly. And so they acquired it back in January for a reported $100 million, and yet they didn't roll it out until last week, until Meerkat was big.
Very suspicious timing, yeah. So Meerkat announced like a $14 million round of funding. I think celebrities like maybe Jared Leto, some people were involved.
Ashton Kutcher, that's right.
Kutcher.
You had all the big ones, Greylock Partners,
yeah,
they led the round.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Twitter cuts off some of Meerkat's access and announces its own app just out of nowhere, and it's already out. So
there's certainly a lot of good tech juice behind this.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Let's compare and contrast the two apps. Let's start with Meerkat versus Periscope and how the tech actually is different. Is it different?
They're very similar. Okay. So the big thing is, I would say, is that Periscope is a cleaner, simpler version of Meerkat, really. Mm-hmm. So basically, you sign up for these and you use your Twitter account, and you look at kind of a list of live feeds or people that are live streaming right now. It's kind of like webcams in the 90s or Twitch today, but on your phone. So you look, and then anybody can broadcast too, and then you can kind of see if you're broadcasting a list of comments of people that are watching and can talk to you kind of directly. So it's got this really immediate, real-time vibe to it that fits well with Twitter.
Mm-hmm. That global public square, open forum type of situation, right?
Yeah,
and then you
definitely.
have Periscope, which is a little bit better produced, would you say? I've played with both. I've used both, and it
looks a lot nicer. Yeah, it's just a lot better. When you sign up, you immediately get access to a whole bunch of kind of interesting features. Well, interesting in a way. I spent most of the weekend kind of trying these out, and I ended up watching some videos of people cutting grass and making pizza and kind of silly
things
stuff.
that normal people do.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll get some good stuff and some bad stuff. I guess that's kind of like Twitter in general. But I think Periscope is by far a lot easier to use, and it's made by Twitter, so it kind of has a pretty big advantage out of the gate here.
Yeah, it certainly does, just like Vine, which is their brief video app that stands alone.
Which kind of went up, Vine launched a couple years ago up against Instagram, which launched a similar 10-second video type feature. And, both of those have, Instagram is still around, Vine is, there's some other real-time video apps, so there could be room for Meerkat, too. I think it's got a lot of work to do in the kind of user interface.
Well, they're raising money, so they certainly probably will
certainly have money to fix it.
Yeah, make that improvement.
And an urgency to do so.
Exactly, because the competition has officially arrived. Now, what do you think, looking at the larger picture of the sustainability of live casts via your smartphone? Do you think it's something that is really valuable, the way Instagram has become so valuable to advertisers, or Facebook or Twitter?
I'm not sure. I think that as a feature, it's definitely going to stick around. I think there's a really cool aspect to it. It enables broadcasting, much like sharing on social networks in general, enabled anybody to talk. Now anybody can broadcast, and that's really cool. I don't know if, as standalone apps, Meerkat and Periscope will end up surviving. This may end up being something you see in your YouTubes or Twitter itself, or Facebook or something like that.
Well, maybe it is like an element, as you say, of a larger social media platform.
And that's a tough thing whenever you launch these social apps, is that you have to compete with the big guys who have all of the users. So Meerkat's going against Twitter's Periscope.
And
Twitter,
Snapchat and all of these other
and
also
Snapchat
live
too.
ephemeral type of apps, right?
How long will it be till Snapchat has Snapcast or something,
Well, they're already doing Snapchat video, which I love using. It's so fun. So, all right, well, we will watch this space for sure. I think that we're going to see it blow up and maybe also take a dive, not so sure. So thank you so much, Jeffrey Van Camp. You're the deputy editor over at Digital Trends. You're on Twitter at JeffreyVC. I'm on Twitter at Jolene Kent. So hope our audience will follow both of us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And for more Tech Take, be sure to check out Fox News and foxbusiness.com.